is clothed with majesty. The I am is clothed with strength, wherewith he hath girded himself. The world also is established, that it cannot be moved. Thy throne is established of old, thou art from everlasting. The floods have lifted up, O I am, the floods have lifted up their voice. The floods lift up their waves. The I am on high is mightier than the noise of many waters, yea, than the mighty waves of the sea. Thy testimonies are very sure. Holiness becometh thine house, O I am forever. Psalms chapter 93. All praises to the Most High. Deliver me from the hands of evil spirits who have sway over the thoughts of men's hearts. And let them not lead me astray from thee, my God. Establish thou me and my seed that we go not astray, henceforth and forevermore. Jubilees chapter 12 and verse 20. A prayer of Abraham. Oh, yes, 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 yes. All praises to his holy name. We thank the Most High. Yes, we thank even the I am that I am. He that hath no name. Yes, but he's known by what he does. We thank the Most High for all that he hath done. We thank him for his mercy, especially his mercy upon our sin-sick hearts. We thank the Most High that he hath kept us even this Sabbath that we could, this last Sabbath that we could even praise his holy name and give him glory and just rest before him. Just rest and reflect on the things that he have done. When I think on his goodness, when I think on how he have just delivered and set free and what he's going to do, even for our children and those of us even to right now. Oh, we just thank and praise the Most High. Yes, all praises to his name. Yes, we are here. Well, I trust you had a beautiful rest, a beautiful Sabbatini or Sabbath or Sabbatai, however you pronounce that, rest. Acknowledging that the Most High, even the Creator, the I am that I am, as he said unto Moses, if they ask you, who am I? Reflecting on him and just letting him speak to you and you letting your heart speak through the word that you have, or should I say the laws that you have meditated on. Because these laws, statutes, and ordinances reveal the I am. They revealed whom you call God, of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He reveals himself to you. You cannot know God by figuring him out, but understanding and knowing him. He will reveal himself to you. Ain't no us in there, just God alone. His angels, even his angels, when the time of Samson in the book of Judges, when the angel came to Manoah and his wife in the tidings of a son, even Samson. What did he do when they offered an offering? He took no glory for himself. He told them no. He said, offer your sacrifice to the I am. And when he did that, the angel glorified the I am and went into the flame and shot up to the Most High. Hallelujah. Glory to the Most High. Yes. See, it's unlike this fictitious story that we have heard many, many times since childhood, and our parents and parents before them, they worship this thing that it took in glory for, or men have caused it to take glory for himself. God shares his glory with nobody. No. Why should he? He was in the beginning alone, out of darkness alone. We cannot even compare him to how we would feel in darkness. We cannot compare him to that. How you go to the depths of the sea and there are fish swimming around in total darkness, but yet they can find what they're looking for. Darkness is no hindrance to the Most High. Neither is light blindness. Yes, we're in 2 Kings. Still in 2 Kings. It's going to be a little slower now, but We thank God for all that he's done. We know the world is still in chaos. We know that, yes, the people over there, them other folks, they're all Europeans, or should I say, come from the Caucasus Mountains. And those over there, they're really the same people as here and over there in that Slavic area. They're still the same people. They just picked up different habits, different hates and likes and whatever. The same people is over here is the same people over there across the water in Palestine. It's the same people that's over there near the borders of Russia. The same people. There's no difference. That's why they protect each other. Haven't you noticed? That's why they're for each other. They made themselves to be who they are. How can you make an anointed one just by whom you have appointed? That is the area of the Most High. You cannot make a saint, or whatever you call a saint, an anointed one. You cannot do it. For just as a child is known by its doing, so he that is anointed, or she that is anointed, is known by how God uses them. Not by the fakery or the organ playing or all this other stuff, or the different hummings and the different repetitive things that they do. No. It's by how God uses them. Yes, that's what it is. But nevertheless, we're in 2 Kings and chapter 16. Chapter 16, yes. I trust you all have really, you've studied, you've read the scripture, and this is my whole motivation, that you read God's word and question it, compare it, question it, and compare it with the law. That is a precept. The law is the precept. See, nobody can argue with me on that. You have to go, in other words, to get a precept of what's happening, line upon line. In other words, you're talking just verse upon verse, chapter upon chapter, but yet you go back to the precept. What does the law say? Not what Isa says, not what Paul says, not what Peter says. What does the law says? But either way, what does God say in his law? In the law that he showed us, that been since the beginning of mankind, there was laws. There's laws throughout everything. There's a law of electricity, a law of metallurgy, a law of just even in our bodies, there are laws whereby every enzyme, every organ has its law that it works a certain way. Yes, and nothing you can do about it. You can think, you can meditate, but it works by a law. Your bowels automatically work by a law. Your heart has a law that it works by. You can slow it down, yeah. Everything works by laws. Except for man when it comes to him and his obedience to that law, which God says, thou shalt have no other gods before me. As far as the morality law, yes, we have a morality problem. We do in the world. And this thing that Daniel saw, this idol, is where this moral decline, this moral have even started, even have gotten, even now it's coming to its climax in more immorality. To where men won't think they're so much godly that they want to destroy people that don't look like them in order that the world might be saved, and trick people into certain things. And you got people that think that because they have a badge or a uniform on that they could just do what they want to anybody and get by with it. Nobody, you can't call on anyone because the judges and the army and everything else is behind them. Even if you're innocent, especially if you're innocent. You have no one to protect you. You have no one to call you in the time of war. We're not just talking about those that are poor and those who are different. We're talking about even those of you that have power, that have this badge and you have this robe and you are in political positions. When God gets ready to deal with you, when he deals with you, who are you going to call? Sure ain't going to be the Ghostbusters. Who are you going to run to? What tactics are you going to use to try to avert God's judgment upon you in the earth? That's not even accounting eternity. But the fact is, we're in 2 Kings chapter 16. And in the 17th year of Pekah, son of Remaliah, Ahaz, the son of Jotham, king of Judah, began to reign. So Jotham's time. 20 years old was Ahaz when he began to reign, and reigned 16 years in Jerusalem, and did not that which was right in the sight of the I Am, like David his father. In other words, he chose idols. He chose immorality. He chose the things that the congregation and that the people agree with. That everybody's doing it. Everybody's worshiping Isas, Yahushua, and Yahusha. Everybody's worshiping Buddha and whatever. They're doing different things. They're going to a different type of Catholicism. It's called Islam or Muslim. Yeah, everybody's doing it. It's peaceful because everybody's doing it. But he walked in the way of the kings of Israel. Yea, now here's a king of Judah walking after the way of Jeroboam, and made his son to pass through the fire. Now this is to pass through the fire. I'm not going to mention that demon's name or that fallen angel or fallen spirit, which used to be a spirit of the Most High. No, I'm not going to mention his name, but it's a Canaanitish thing. Yes, it is. Oh, they don't want to own that. Those who say they're Jews and are not, they don't want to own that part. Palestinians they're not even the Philistines. Really, the ones who you talk, they really come from Syria. They come from somewhere over in that area. Mixed people. They were called Reds or clients in the older days. But either way, now they've multiplied, but God had caused this thing to be because of you, Jacob. And you still haven't learned your lesson. It's your teens, babies born bastards, and you got all manner of evil happening, and you're following the heathen in every way possible. And you call it your culture. Give me a break. Now, but he walked away the way of the kings of Israel, and made his son to pass through the fire according to the abominations of the heathen, whom the I Am cast out before the children of Israel. As I said, yeah. And he sacrificed and burnt incense in the high places and on the hills and under every green tree. The risen king of Syria and Pekah of Remaliah, king of Israel, came up to Jerusalem to war. And they besieged Ahaz, but could not overcome him. Yeah, God didn't allow that to happen. But at that time, Rizah, king of Syria, recovered Ephah to Syria, and drave the Jews from Elath, and the Syrian came to Elath, and dwelt there unto this day. Now, in the day that God drives these people out from the land that belongs, especially those who have come from Europe, he drives them out to the land that's going to always be Jerusalem, because the fact is that there was a king of Jerusalem. But that's not the place where Israel was, or should I say Judah was. No, it wasn't. But the fact is, God's going to give Jacob back his land from the Euphrates to the brook of Egypt. He's going to give him back his land. And the nations of the world, most of them are going to be destroyed. Period. I don't know about the Revelation, but I know according to the prophet Daniel and the other prophets, these people are going to be destroyed. Because they are seared in the mind by devils. Devils of wrath. Devils that have been issued out to influence them ever since birth. They don't know why they do things. It's not an excuse. They choose to do it by what is swaying and by the surroundings that they have, into thinking they're better, they're more poised, they're more this and they're more that. No, you're not. You're just as foolish and dumb as the day and night, day and day, to put it that way. But either way, and those of you who think the same way, of other hues, you're just as dumb too. Because the fact is that when we can't see God, in that a person has no choice of to whom and where he's born, then we learn to do that which is right. Person has no choosing of whether he's going to be male or she's going to be female. Has no choosing whether they're going to be born to an Arab family, or should I say African family of whatever tribe there is on that continent, or Akbulan family, or even an American family, whether black or white. A person has no choice. But the choice that you have is whether you obey God or not, whether you believe God or not. You have a choice there. Even Israel had a choice, and that they rejected the Most High. Ancestors rejected. Give us a king, they say. This is the resultant of it. And at that time, Rezin the king of Syria recovered Elath to Syria, verse 6, and drave the Jews from Elath. Now the word Jew pops up in this translation. It wasn't until the 2 Kings chapter 16 and verse 6, the word Jew. Mark that down. 2 Kings chapter 16 and verse 6. During the time of Remaliah, king of Israel, or should I say Rezin, king of Syria, and Pekah, son of Remaliah, king of Israel. Now this is an insert here. At that time, Rezin, king of Syria, recovered Elath to Syria and drave the Jews from Elath, and the Syrians came to Elath and dwelt there unto this day. Okay, now the word Jews appears in the Bible, which really wasn't, they didn't call them Jews back then. This is a total insert. But either way, so Ahaz sent messengers to Tiglath-Pileser, king of Syria. Now we heard about him, saying, I am thy servant and thy son. Come up and save me out of the hand of the king of Syria and out of the hand of the king of Israel, which rise up against me. And Ahaz took the silver and gold that was found in the house of the I am in the treasures of the king's house, and sent it for a present to the king of Assyria. So he take God's stuff and give it to his enemy. Have you ever seen somebody just ask you for something to let somebody else borrow from them that was yours? Okay. Now, the king of Assyria hearkened unto him, for the king of Assyria went up against Damascus, and took it, and carried the people of it captive to Kir, and slew Rezin. So they did what they had to do. And the king Ahaz went to Damascus to meet Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria, Tiglath-Pileser, and saw an altar that was at Damascus. And King Ahaz sent to Uriah the priest the fashion of the altar and pattern of it, according to all the workmanship thereof. And Uriah the priest built an altar according to all that Ahaz king had sent from Damascus. So Uriah, king of the priest, made it against King Ahaz came from Damascus. And when the king was come from Damascus, the king saw the altar, and the king approached the altar and offered thereon. And he burnt the offering and his meat offering, and poured his drink offering, and sprinkled the blood of the peace offering upon the altar. And he brought also the brazen altar, which was before the I am, from the forefront of the house, from between the altar and the house of the I am, and put it on the side of the altar. And King Ahaz commanded Uriah the priest, saying, upon the great altar burn the morning burnt offering and even meat offering, and the king's burnt offering and his meat offerings with the burnt offerings, and all the people of the land and their meat offerings and their drink offerings, and sprinkle upon the blood of the burnt offering and all the blood of the sacrifice, and the brazen altar shall be for me to inquire by. Oh, I gotta talk to God. Thus did Uriah the priest, according to King Ahaz commanded. And King Ahaz cut off the borders of the bases and removed laver from off of them and took down the sea from off the brazen altars that were under it and put it under the pavement of stones. And the coverts for the Sabbath that they had built in the house of the king's entry without turn he from the house of the I am for the king of Assyria. Now the rest of the act of Ahaz, which he did, are not they written in the book of the Chronicles of the king of Judah? It says, and Ahaz slept with his fathers and was buried with his fathers in the city of David, and Hezekiah his son reigned in his stead. So now we get to the point of Hezekiah. And we see how Ahaz restored the things that the king of Judah, of the seed of David, the seed of David, he was of the seed of David. And he restored the things. He restored the daily sacrifice. He restored all these things. One thing about the sacrifice, yes, the sacrifices were being made, but they did not represent the heart of men and women toward the Most High. Yes, because of the priests, they had some kind of mediator between this blood that was shed, not by heathen, such as your New Testament would portray, but it was the blood of innocence, which was the beast. He had chosen beast from the beginning. Some say, oh, that's not what it means. God had slayed a beast to cover Adam and Eve with their skin. So did he cover you with the skin of Jesus? So the blood thereof, an animal was slayed, a clean animal, I'm sure. I'm sure it was a clean animal. But when he made the animal skin, or he had an angel or whoever did it, however God had it done, or commanded that it be done, blood was shed, period. Innocent blood was shed because of their sin. And now we have, in what he had commanded Moses, Ahaz is resurrecting it when it hadn't went on for a while because of the paganism of the previous king. And if we keep those things which God had prescribed for all mankind, as his statutes, commandments, ordinances, and laws, one law for the born Israelite, and one law for the stranger that would join him or herself to the children of Jacob. And with that, we will have peace.
Walk with me.